mostrar pra vocês. Eu não sou bilíngue.
Designing and building a tiny house on wheels as a couple can be a real challenge. There's a lot of cooperation and compromise that goes into creating a space that can work well for both parties. Today we've traveled to the Blue Mountains to visit a tiny house built by a couple who, thanks to some wonderful teamwork, have created themselves an amazing home.
Esse aqui eu já vi, tá, meninas? Agora, esse aqui pra mim, moraria? Acho que não. Mas assim, é muito diferente daquele que aí que já tá no mato. Sou bicho do mato, já tem um mato em volta, já tem uma vista ok. Entendeu? Não tem uma vista pras cuecas do teu vizinho. Tu sabe? E óbvio que aqui ele deve ter gastado bastante dinheiro.
Hi Lisa.
Hey Bryce, how you going?
Good, thank you. Nice to meet you. G'day Matt, how's it going, mate?
Good, thanks.
This home is absolutely stunning. It is very sleek, stylish and modern, isn't it?
Thank you.
Now, absolutely, I want to talk about the home, but first, let's talk about the land that you're on, because this is something very special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 16 acres and yeah, basically goes down to a creek. There's a little swimming hole down there and back up the other side of that ridge there. So yeah, it's nice and secluded.
Caralho!
And how did you come to be on this property?
Basically about 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, there was a big bushfire that came through this area and burnt down a lot of the homes in this street and in this area. So we scored this block out of it, basically.
And then this area that you've built onto the house as well creates a really lovely space outdoors to enjoy it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's pretty important with tiny living to be able to expand outside and get that bit more use out of it, you know.
When you get people over and you're all in the tiny house, it's very cramped. So you need somewhere to sort of come out and you can spread out.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's a nice view and on a sunny day, it's really nice out here.
Now, let's talk about the tiny house. As far as tinies go, it is not very small, is it?
I guess as far as tinies go, you know, it's a lot smaller than my full-sized house that I came from, but yeah, it's pretty lofty.
What size is it?
The floor is 9 metres long by 2.5 metres wide, but because of the rakes on either end, the roof is a couple of metres longer. Yeah, the height is 4.3 on that side to the bottom, varying. There's the chimney to take into account and some unboltable stuff, but yeah. I think one of the things in our loft, we wanted to be able to stand up and walk around because we didn't want, to have to crawl in or anything like that. So I'm happy with it.
Ele deu aqui shade, tá? Pra menina do.
And now talk to me about the style of the house, because it is really interesting how you've created this entirely black.
Cara, é muito doido que ele falou uma coisa que a gente queria na nossa casinha, que a gente queria ficar apto pra andar nela.
Exterior.
I guess it is a bit stark, but I just like black. And I think it actually kind of blends into the valley. Like there's a few black features obviously from the fire, and yeah, I think it kind of suits it.
And it looks quite striking here, so I think you've done a really good job with that.
Thank you.
What was it that actually inspired you to build a tiny house on wheels?
That was me. I've been obsessed for a while, watching reality TV shows about tiny houses, Googling them, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, you know, looking them up. Sort of wanted to build one or at least buy one at some stage, and then I met Matt, so now I have one.
So we met online. It was one event at the pub with my best friend, and she wanted to play with my phone and my online dating apps, and it sort of sparked from there. We had a date at a very seedy pub.
Yep, that was her idea.
Yep. I needed a getaway plan, you see.
Yep.
Yep.
It was
just
close
in case.
to the station.
Yep.
And yeah, she really just wouldn't shut up about these tiny houses, and I really hadn't seen much about them, but she's showing me all these Instagram accounts, and I sort of didn't really think much of it at the time, but yeah, no, she kept on about it. So yeah, once I looked into it, it seemed achievable, you know, and I do like a challenge, so I thought, I'll give it a go. What's the worst that can happen, you know? Throw a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah, so I guess I convinced you to build a tiny house. Who built me a tiny house, actually. Yeah.
She did give me full disclosure.
I even gave him points in time to bail out. And I was laying in bed.
Imagina, vamos no mercado, vamos. Daí ele vai lá, liga o motorzão e ela, enquanto ela tá tomando banho. Ah, tô tomando um banho, mas vamos, tamo indo já no mercado.
And I said, are you sure you want to do this? Are you absolutely positive you want to do this?
After the trade.
Esse cara tá me irritando um pouco,
bought,
mas
yeah.
enfim, achando ele meio escroto.
Once the frame was on, that was it.
Yeah.
And now this project was done as a DIY build, wasn't it?
Yeah, majority of it I did myself, or with some help from friends and colleagues and stuff. So yeah, they did hate a lot of it, but you know, in the end, I think everyone's pretty proud of it.
And you have a background in construction, don't you?
Yeah, I do run a bathroom and kitchen renovation company, and so a lot of it was sort of ideas that I'd seen around or things that I'd really wanted to try out, but I couldn't get anyone to go for. So yeah, I thought, oh, I'll do it myself then, you know.
Now, before we go inside, I want to talk about the contraption at the back of the...
Gente, a forma como esse cara fala, sempre muito animada, parece muito aqueles programas que os caras tentam forçar. Ai, eu não sei explicar, gente, mas só me incomoda às vezes.
Which I noticed walking.
Ele é muito gente boa, tá ligado? Não tô criticando ele, pelo amor de Deus. Mas só que ele fala de uma forma, parece que é a melhor coisa que ele já viu na vida dele. Sabe? Às vezes parece muito falso.
Down. What on earth is that?
That is
até a forma de falar é igual.
Designed cat run. It seemed simple when I first began doing it, but definitely had...
Ai, que bonitinho! Ai, que lindinho, Djanguinho! É uma pantera, acho que
to lean on my mates to give me a hand with it.
Olha, o Django só que é mais gordinho. Que bonitinho,
Basically,
cara.
I've got these two cats and they're my children and I didn't want anything to happen to them moving to the bush.
Ai, que lindos!
Or I didn't want dead birds on my bed. And also, I didn't want the kitty litter inside.
Ai, gente. Ai, que lindo!
It's too small, so yeah, it works well. They love it, actually.
What a great idea. That is very clever. Well, can we take a look inside the house and check out what you've done on the inside?
Really?
Let's do it.
All right, thank you very much. After you. This is absolutely stunning. You really do notice the extra height in here, don't you?
TV zona, qualidade de vida.
Yeah, you do. The void definitely adds some really nice extra light and extra room.
Now the design in here is really interesting and quite beautiful. I really love all of the artistic features that you've put in. This light feature at the top here is really special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
A bit of Rio, a couple of lights, fairy lights, and some plants, and
I did get it up there by myself somehow, which was a challenge, but yeah, I think it came up pretty well for a couple of old rusty sheets of steel left over.
It certainly did. And now tell me about the lounge area that we're in right now. This is very spacious.
Yeah, one of the things that we just like to sort of lay on the couch and watch TV most evenings, so we definitely wanted to...
O Matheus aqui era a vida dele, né? Aqui é a vida dele, que ele já ia falar, eu que sou míope, porque ele é assim. Ele fala assim, tipo, agora a gente colocou o sofá lá no nosso apartamento, ele era muito afastado da TV, porque a sala era muito grande. Daí nesse a gente colocou... a sala aqui, ela é grande também, mas a gente colocou o sofá bem pertinho da TV. Daí ele fala, isso sim que é vida, né? Isso sim, porque antes, gente, o drama que ele fazia era do tipo assim, não, porque eu pra jogar videogame tenho que colocar a lente, porque eu não enxergo a TV direito, que não sei o que, sei que lá.
A full-sized couch, but we had to make it because we couldn't find anything with decent storage. So yeah, I traded my couch from my other house to my sister and she made these cushions for us, and yeah, the kitchen guys made the drawers pull out and everything, so yeah.
Definitely no compromise on the size of the TV here.
No compromise. There was a bigger one intended, but...
Well, there was a compromise, exactly.
Yeah,
I was going to bring my larger one, but in truth, yeah, even this is potentially like pushing it for being too big, so yeah. I can admit it now.
It's been a while.
And lots of room for book storage and a few knickknacks as well.
Yeah, just bits and
Beijo a Tio Wolf, que vem aí.
Some of my favourites, some of the ones you can't really go past, cookbooks, university textbooks.
Japonês para pessoas ocupadas. The Cocktail Years, claro. Holiday Goddess. Paris, o quê? Medieval. Oh, interessante. Tá, dicionário. É medieval, Não, é medieval, gente, que tá escrito.
Those sorts of things.
The Chemical Detective. Race and Ethnic Relations. Oxi. The Lions. The Corset.
And then the rest are all got given away or put in storage or
Me incomodou também um pouco ver os livros daquela forma. Olha o óleo essencial dela.
And you are studying at university at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a bachelor's degree in Indigenous Studies through the University of South Australia.
And you've got plenty of space to study in here?
Yeah, so most of the
tá, não é
time we
presencial.
watch telly down here, and we have a loft that I can go and study in and just take some noise cancelling headphones and everything's good.
Fantastic. And now this...
A coluna vai com Deus, né? Se é assim que ela estuda o dia inteiro, acabou.
Over here, is that your cat door?
It certainly is. The little suckers come up a chute.
out through the side of the couch and then out the doors too. And then 2 in the morning when they go in and out, flat out, it's pretty entertaining.
That is such a clever idea. And then you've got a really nice wood fire
Cara,
here.
uma coisa que eu e Matheus a gente com certeza vai fazer é o espaço pros gatos, tá? Ali fora. Sério mesmo. A gente vai fazer. Primeira coisa que eu vou falar quando a gente falar com a arquiteta é isso.
Well,
A gente vai colocar um espaço de gatinho ali.
Yeah.
Hasn't been cold enough yet to really get it going, but we did one test run.
Todo
and
telado,
it's been
obviamente.
great.
Né?
Pumps out a lot of heat.
Yeah.
and then the kitchen. This is very spacious, absolutely.
O que é ali? Um lampião, gente?
Right.
Lampião dele.
Yeah.
And then the kitchen. This is very spacious, absolutely no compromises in here, are there?
No, we wanted a full-size kitchen in here. I came from a very
Cara, cozinhona, véi. Cozinhona boa, bonita.
house with no kitchen.
Olha as
and that came
facas,
from a very
coisa
big
linda.
house with quite a large kitchen. So this is sort of meet in the middle.
You've even got these spectacular marble bench tops. Now, this is something you do not often see in a tiny house.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I think I potentially would have just done it in timber if I could do it again. I guess I'm used to
Mármore
designing
Carrara.
things that way. So yeah, I'm stoked with them though.
Absolutely.
Será que é os armários Roma?
Now, can you walk me through the design
Sei lá,
and the
tá
features
bom.
in this kitchen?
Yeah, so we have a full-size stove. We've got a full-size microwave and oven.
Olha, torre quente, geladeira chique. Oh, sério?
And a fridge, obviously. And then we've got our butler sink. We've got our pots and pans.
Gente, a escada é gaveta
Full-size
também.
microwave
Fala
and
baixo.
oven and a fridge,
Nossa.
obviously. And then we've got our butler sink.
Okay.
We've got our pots and pans in there. Dishwasher. I don't necessarily know what's in that drawer. There's good.
Menina, tem
There's
até
glasses.
lava-louças.
And tea towels in there and
Yeah.
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Yeah.
And then we've got all our crockery, things like that.
Olha a quantidade de prato. Essa pratarada pra 2 pessoas no meio do mato. Que isso?
And I really like how you've managed to build a lot of the appliances
É
into
a
the set.
VTube.
Yeah, we've noticed quite a few tiny houses sort of in and around that have their storage in their stairs, and it was something that we thought would be good for us. You know, we have a pantry in those sort of 4 drawers, and then we've got our extra stairs that do have more storage in them for knickknacks and bits and pieces.
Gente, eu amei isso. Sério mesmo. Eu amei isso. Não, ter amigo e parente é uma coisa, ô Liliana. Mas agora, colocar essa quantidade de prato morando lá na puta que pariu, com certeza não recebe visita sempre. Puta merda. Vai receber a galera, não tem lugar pra tudo aquilo ali de prato.
Again, the lighting in this space is very well done.
Yeah, thank you. We wanted a bit of under-stair lighting. When you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you do want to be able to get down the stairs. So
Isso aqui é uma casa de rico, tá? É um projeto de rico, na verdade, né?
that's fun. And it also doesn't wake the person still in bed.
And then, moving over here, what is going on with these mirrors?
There are wardrobes.
Right.
His and hers. So we've got lots of hanging storage. And then we've got a bunch of drawers which open up, all on soft closing, so you can slam them all as much as you like. And then we've also got a walk-in wardrobe light.
Now that really does give you both quite a lot of clothes storage, doesn't it?
Yeah, we do. It means we've got
Eu já ia falar,
one
achei
each, and we're
grande.
not fighting over hanging space or anything like that. And mine is obviously more messy, so that's not paranoid about mine.
Quite a clever idea.
Nossa, gente, e pior que esse cara, ele já tem a vibe ali na primeira frase dele. A gente já falou. Ele tem muito a vibe de que reclama que o dela tá bagunçado e começa a encher o saco. Igual aquele macho do Casamento à Cega, que encheu o saco daquela mina que era... Nossa, ela foi perdendo o brilho ao longo do programa. Aquele chato do caralho, que queria namorar uma pessoa igual a ele.
Mine
Puta
is
que
obviously
pariu.
more messy, so that's not paranoid about mine.
Quite a clever idea doing that as well, and sort of having that as a transition between the bathroom and the living space.
Yeah, definitely. Means you're not sort of walking straight into a kitchen, you've got a bit of something in between.
Absolutely. And now I have to ask you about the floors, because this is really beautiful how you've done this transition
Olha, transitou.
from the timber
Fala
floors
baixo.
into the tiles. This must have taken forever.
Yes.
It did. So first step was the tiler doing his bit, and he basically tiled it flat and chiseled them off, the ones that I marked. And then the next step was the carpenter and I making up paper templates and jigsawing out the timber to fit. So I don't think he'd do it again in a hurry, but I'm happy with the way it worked out.
I bet. I mean, you can
That's
see how much
awesome.
work has gone into that, but it really is a very artistic result. So well done on that. And then behind us is your bathroom, and wow,
Yeah.
this is very
Cara, a quantidade de toalha, gente.
impressive.
It is definitely a feature of the house.
Yeah, something I definitely had to try and get right, building bathrooms for a living. So yeah, a few ideas in here I've
tá.
always wanted to sort of try, but
ele
the
tem
rake wall was a
experiência.
challenge. And yeah, I love it.
Olha, chique e confortável, tá?
A double shower, just something I
É
might
maior que meu banheiro também.
each day.
Yeah.
I never thought I would
2 chuveiros! Caralho, aquilo é uma gilete, que chique. Nunca vi assim.
A tiny house with a double shower.
You're not the only one who said that.
Triple shower, even if you count the third one there.
That is really impressive. Now, obviously the home is a little bit bigger, but you've definitely given a priority of space here in the bathroom, haven't you?
You do actually spend a lot of time in here, surprisingly. You know, you get dressed in here, you get undressed in here, you have a shower, you're often in front of the mirrors doing whatever, shaving or whatever. So you need it sort of a nice space and somewhere that we can both be in at the same time.
Lots of mirrors in here as well?
Lots of mirrors. These are actually storage as well, so you can open them up. There's his and hers again. Means we're not sort of in each other's spaces. A tiny house often you are, so if we sort of keep things separate like that, then we're not going to sort of clash in any way.
And then you've got a flushing toilet in here.
We have a flushing toilet, yes.
Yeah, we used the existing
Tampa, sempre bom.
so we didn't have to do a composting toilet, much to Lisa's disappointment because she really wanted one, but there was no way I was going to do that. So, yeah, definitely a flushing toilet.
Well, I guess there had to be some compromise there somewhere. You did get the tiny house after all.
I did get the tiny house, so I'm happy.
Fair enough. And then shall we check out the upstairs?
Absolutely.
Now, it's really interesting to me how you've divided up the loft areas into 2 different sections and then been able to connect them via this walkway here.
Yeah, we made our master loft, obviously.
A cama maior que a
It's
minha.
a king-size bed in it with 2 little side tables. There's not a whole lot of room beside the bed, but
Quê? Aonde que tá a mesa de cabeceira?
you can
Claro. Tá bom, vi agora.
squeeze in and out. You still have to shimmy down the bed to get in and out of the bed, but that's okay.
I think having the walkway makes the second
Não
loft.
consegue ficar em pé lá em cima, né? Mas eles têm uma vibe meio... Eles parecem baixos, assim. Mais baixo que eu, no
A
caso.
lot more usable. Just having to get your mates to get up a ladder
Mas aqui
or maybe your
acordar, tu
mum or
acorda
whatever.
já com o sol na
Some
tua
people
cara,
probably
né?
wouldn't make it. So, yeah, I think overall it makes that a lot more usable space.
Olha em
Here as
cima.
well, this is where you really notice the extra height.
Agora deve ser muito foda quando chove. Ai, eu acho tudo. Eu acho tudo claraboia, gente.
And it's not that much extra height, but it's enough to enable you to stand before you get into bed, and it really just makes this whole area feel so much more spacious.
Yeah, it does. Matt and I aren't particularly tall, but being able to stand up was really important in our design.
Rather than some lofts feeling like they're just an additional space, I think it really makes this feel like a second floor to the place. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm 6'4", and I can almost stand up in here without touching my head. And in fact, when I'm under the skylight, I absolutely can do that.
Yeah.
So it really goes to show there's a lot of extra room that has been created in this.
Yeah.
The roof windows as well.
Ai.
What a great feature in here. I mean, it's lovely how you've extended them along
Nossa, gente, vai ficar tanto tempo ali. Puta que pariu, eu sou muito cadela da chuva.
the entire line of the roof. So you've always got a very dynamic view of the changing sky, don't you?
Yeah, you do. At night time, it's really lovely. You can see the stars. During the day, it does create a bit of an oven, but we'd have put the blinds on.
Ah!
But, yeah,
Nossa, que chique,
it really
automatizado.
creates a lot of extra space. You don't feel so enclosed.
Now, you've been living in the tiny house for 4 months. Is the home living up to your expectations?
Absolutely. Yeah. I came from a small house, so the transition was pretty easy for me. Coming from a bigger house,
Yeah, it did take me some convincing to sort of wrap my head around the idea at first, but I can genuinely say I don't miss anything from my large, normal house. Designing it and building it together was a fun thing to do as well, you know.
yeah,
I'm sure we learnt a lot about each other in that
Yeah.
process. So.
we did. It's good. It was fun.
Well, and I think one of the things that you've done really well is in the design of this house, you've obviously really taken a lot of consideration into what your individual needs are and the things that were important to both of you and combined them to make sure that they were present in this home.
That was the whole idea, is like if you are going to move in together, you do need to make sure that you both have spaces
True.
that are specifically for you or that you specifically need. So yeah, it's important.
Even if it means you have to end up with a flushing toilet.
Even if it means I have to end up with a flushing toilet. Damn it.
No place is perfect.
No, that's right.
And now can we talk about the budget, not including the land? What was the cost of realizing this home?
That's a good question. I did not add up every sort of nickel and dime. There were a few favours and stuff in there, and a lot of it I did myself. So yeah, I think it probably worked out around 90,000 or something like that.
I think $80,000 is a remarkable budget, and obviously that also does reflect that you've put a lot of labour into it yourself,
80
and
mil.
no doubt a few boxes of beer in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few cases.
So the tiny house is pretty much a dream come true now. I've got to find something else to want.
It's a dream come true for you.
Yeah.
It's an achievement for me. Yeah.
We love the space.
You.
Yeah, it's a dream come true now. I've got to find something else to want.
It's a dream come true for you.
Yeah.
It's an achievement for me.
mulher falou, é um sonho que se tornou realidade morar aqui. E olhou pra ele. Aí ele falou, é um sonho que se tornou realidade pra você. E pra mim é uma conquista que se tornou realidade.
Yeah.
Cara, como ser mais inconveniente? Vai te cagar, guri!
With making it ours now. I think it's
cara, ele literalmente falou, é um sonho pra ti, né? Cara, na frente do cara, imagina sem.
Like home.
Yeah, it's actually been really nice.
Cara.
Just being able to be in the space, finally finishing the space off, and yeah, I can't really imagine wanting any more house.
Well, no more house. This is it. This is all you need.
This is all we're getting.
Yeah.
The design of this home is absolutely beautiful. I can really see how much love and attention you have poured into the construction of this home. The features are beautiful. The land that it sits on is truly spectacular. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful home with me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. I am so very impressed with the quality of design that's gone into this house. Every inch has...
Fiquei agoniada já nesse final, já me irritei também. Não, aquela ali, essa casa realmente é mais de boa. Alguém falou calvo. Ok.